that was basically it. A really weird year for them, finishing up at 6-6. Nothing really jumps off the page. I mean, if you want to say they have the 48th best running attack, and that's good, it's not bad for South Alabama, but it's not great either. Bowling Green, one of the worst defenses in the country, allowing just under 34 points a game. For me, it was all but a toss-up, and I like Bowling Green just a bit more. I think that they have a more balanced attack, and I think they have a slightly more balanced team. So I went with Bowling Green to the confidence of 1. And please, if I get this pick wrong, don't get angry that I ruined your bowl picks, because this shouldn't be anywhere higher than 1 or 2.
I do have it higher at 4.
Oh!
Yeah, I've got it at 4 behind the national title game, the Sugar Bowl, and the Poinsettia Bowl. More on that coming up later. So with this pick, yeah, I kind of called it a toss-up, too. I had Bowling Green, kind of on strength of conference. They're in the MAC versus the Sun Belts. They've got a win over Indiana, which is a not good football team. And I can't say much good things about either of these teams. I have Bowling Green at confidence 4. All right, moving on to the next game of the bowl season. That would be the Miami Beach Bowl. Talk about a bowl you want to go to. Miami.
I got a beach.
The beach, yeah. You know what they should do? They should do a bowl that's actually played on sand.
I know. That's a great idea.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. All right. BYU versus Memphis. Now, I may be qualified to talk about this, but nowhere near Noah Taborda, who had a chance to see Memphis play live this year. Now, tell us about Memphis, and then break down this game for us, Mr. Taborda.
Well, first of all, I watched Memphis play against UCLA, and I was impressed. They lost 3 games, and they lost to Houston by 4. Got pretty handled by Ole Miss, but they kept it tight with UCLA. And I think one of the big reasons is because of their giant 6'7", 230-pound quarterback, Paxton Lynch. 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 2,725 passing yards. Simply put, this guy, it's hard to stop him. He can see over the D-line, find the open man, and he's done it relatively well. Their running game hasn't been bad at all, combining with Hayes and Cooper, who have combined for over 1,200 yards on the ground. And that defense, that glorious Memphis Tiger defense, allowing only 17 points a game. They will shut down the best of them. BYU, of course, lost Taysom Hill, and while they've bounced back over the last 4 games, winning against California, Savannah State, UNLV, and Middle Tennessee, they had a streak in there where they lost to 4 teams. They were decent teams. Boise State, a good one, Nevada, UCF, and Utah State. However, I like what Memphis has. That defense will smother you, and I think they smother the BYU Cougars in the Miami Beach Bowl.
Alrighty, thank you for that, Mr. Noah. I agree. I think that BYU, the wins they have, so many of them are on the back of Taysom Hill. After Taysom went out, I mean, it's hard to trust this team at BYU. I have Memphis with a confidence of 20-ish. I don't feel like doing the math to actually figure out where I put them. Moving on
I got them at 21.
All right, moving on. The Boca Raton Bowl. Marshall, Northern Illinois. A solid mid-major bowl, actually, for 2 teams that are from lower conferences. A very solid bowl. Marshall, 1 loss. It was to Western Kentucky and possibly knocked them out of contention for being in one of the big bowls. Northern Illinois has been Cinderella, but last year it lost it just at the end like this team did. Of course, no more Jordan Lynch. Everybody cry. Actually, you know what? Talking about the Chicago Bears, Jimmy Clausen's been announced starter, but soon enough, Jordan Lynch is going to be coming up at this rate. I mean, you can't with the Bears right now. All right, Marshall, Northern Illinois. So here's we've got. I guess to analyze this game, we have to start with one man, Rakeem Cateau. Yeah, Rakeem Cateau of the Marshall Thundering Herd. Now, this is quite the quarterback. He currently holds the career record for touchdowns in consecutive games. I believe it's at 40-some. He's thrown a lot of touchdowns in a lot of games consecutively. Their one loss, a 67-66 loss in overtime after Western Kentucky went for it 4-2 in overtime. One of the best games of the year, if you do ask me. They have the 5th scoring offense, 22nd scoring defense, which is very solid. Their offense is very balanced, 287 yards per game on passing, 275 on rushing, extremely balanced. On the other side, you have Northern Illinois, who is a very strong rushing team but lacks passing ability. They are 37th in points against and 47th in points for. For these reasons, I believe that Marshall will be able to take Northern Illinois down, because they've only had one game where they really let their defense slip, and that was against Western Kentucky, but that was a passing offense. They've shown throughout the year that run offense has not been able to meet them. That's where almost all Northern Illinois offense comes from, with the pair of Stingley and Hare. So due to that, I have Marshall ranked at a confidence that is somewhere. I promise, I know. I have Marshall at a confidence of somewhere near 12 to 14 to 15. Somehow.
12 to 14 to 15. Well, I gotta agree with you. I'm going with Marshall here. It probably would have been a lot easier had they won the game against Western Kentucky. But there's just a bit of doubt creeping into me. As there always will be when you have a mid-major team. Look, I think that they're just a better team. I think Central Michigan. Ooh, I saw Central Michigan on Northern Illinois' schedule. Look, I think Northern Illinois has a good running attack, 14th best in the nation. Stingley and Hare both over 800 yards on the season. That's a good combo. But on the other side, you've got the 7th best running attack. That's even better. They are putting up great yards. I mean, Johnson, 1,636, and you've got an almost 800-yard rusher in Butler. Not to mention Rakeem Cateau at the quarterback position, leading them with the 18th best passing attack. The Thundering Herd win against Northern Illinois, and I have a confidence of 15.
Ooh, that's exciting. All right, speeding things up a little bit. Moving on to the Popeye Bahamas Bowl. Central Michigan versus Western Kentucky. Best reaction video of the entire bowl season, Central Michigan, when they found out they were going to Bahamas. But it won't be happy for them long. Central Michigan is going to lose to Western Kentucky by my odds. And at I believe a fairly high confidence. Yes, a confidence of around 20. So very solid confidence in that one. Noah, your confidence.
Look, this is not a great bowl by any means. I mean, Western Kentucky got the upset, but overall, not a very exciting year. I got Western Kentucky here at a confidence of 11. Really not that confident in the Central Michigan Chippewas. So, congratulations, Hilltoppers.
All right, moving back to December 23rd. I apologize for missing the first one. We've got Navy versus San Diego State in the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl. Wow, that's one of the longer names of the entire bowl season. This is my 3 confidence. I picked Navy. I'm not going to say much more. It's my 3 confidence. I'm just throwing one out there. Go Keenan Reynolds. Go Navy. Beat Army. Oh, wait, they already did that. All right, go Midshipmen. Okay, Noah, do you have a pick for that game?
Yeah, no, Carl. I decided that this is the one game I'm not going to pick. I got to go with San Diego State. I think they had an up-and-down year. They had a tough loss to North Carolina. They had a loss to Oregon State. Fresno State was tough. Hawaii was tough. Boise State, Nevada, those are all losses that are tough. But they did have a win against Air Force. I think they proved more during this season than I think some people expected. I think they have a good defense. I mean, 14th best in the nation, not to mention running the ball. They're pretty good. You don't expect much from this team, but Donnell Pumphrey, that's a great name. I love the last name, Pumphrey. 6'9", 170 pounds. He's very elusive, gets out in the open field and runs 1,755 yards and 19 touchdowns on the season. I'm taking San Diego State with a confidence of 18.
Solid confidence. All right, now we move to the Hawaii Bowl, the second of the 2 Christmas Eve bowls. Fresno State taking on Rice. I have Fresno State. While they did lose Derek Carr and they were not nearly as good as they were last year, I do believe that Fresno State has what it takes to beat a mediocre Rice team. Noah.
Yeah, it's not a great game. I think Fresno State will pick up the win here. I have them in my 4 confidence, which only leaves 2 of my top 5 least confident games. But yeah, 4 confidence for the Fresno State Bulldogs. Are they the only team to go 6-7 and make the bowl season this year?
I believe so this year, yes.
Okay.
Yep, that's exciting. They were 6-6, made the Mountain West Championship game, and then lost it to the teams the team we did. Did we already mention? We already mentioned. No, we haven't talked about Boise State. I do apologize. Boise State. Actually, that's coming up in the next show. All right, we move on, and we're trying to talk a little bit quicker. Our favorite team of the entire bowl season is Louisiana Tech, and not just because Noah has friends who are Illinois fans who he wants to be beaten. No, the Zaxby's Heart of Dallas Bowl is Louisiana Tech versus Illinois on December 26th. I take Louisiana Tech here. In the memory of Colby Cameron, the former Louisiana Tech quarterback, and now I believe he's doing something else. And here's the deal. Louisiana Tech, the better team. Illinois has been mediocre all year, barely made bowl eligible. And congratulations to Colby Cameron, who's currently playing for the Fujitsu Frontiers of the X League. Yes, you heard that right. The Fujitsu Frontiers. Go Colby Cameron. Go Louisiana Tech. Yeah, Noah.
Look, you look at the teams here, and one team can't play defense at all. That's Illinois, 108th in the nation defensively. That's pitiful, allowing around 34 points a game. On the other side, you've got the Cody Sokol-led Louisiana Tech, and they've looked pretty good offensively. They are right up there with the best of them, averaging around 38 points a game. Not a good matchup for Illinois at all. They probably were hoping for a team that was better defensively because they can stay out with a low-scoring game. But against Louisiana Tech, a team that likes to get out in front and run away with it, they're going to have a tough time sticking around. I have Louisiana Tech winning with a confidence of 8.
Alrighty then, moving on to our next bowl. That would be the Quick Lane Bowl. Rutgers versus North Carolina. Mediocre major teams here, basically. So you got Rutgers coming in first bowl as an ACC member, and then you've got North Carolina. Oh, no, excuse me. Rutgers is a Big Ten member. I apologize. I do apologize. Rutgers is a Big Ten member, while North Carolina is an ACC member. Not much to say. North Carolina has had a couple really good games this year. They came close to beating Notre Dame, and they beat Duke handily in that game. Overall, North Carolina has been up and down, but I think that they're going to be up on this night. I have that North Carolina beating Rutgers in the Quick Lane Bowl with a confidence of approximately 20.
There are not many times I pick against Big Ten teams, but this is one of them. Rutgers, I see one of the most average teams in the nation. Nothing stands out about them. 89th in rushing yards, 89th in points for, 92nd points against, and 62nd in passing yards. That is as close to average as you can get. That's slightly below average, in fact. On the other hand, I at least see something that can lead North Carolina to a win. They've got the 35th best offense in the country, and they can throw the ball relatively well. I mean, it's nothing special, but Marquise Williams, not too shabby at the quarterback position. I think North Carolina pulls out the win. I'm not quite as confident with this one as Rutgers is a Big Ten team, and I got to have some faith in the Big Ten. I have them at a confidence of 10.
Alrighty then, thank you, Noah. Moving on to our next game, the wonderfully named Bitcoin St. Petersburg Bowl. UCF was the darling of the bowl season last year as they knocked off Baylor in the, which bowl was that? Was that the Fiesta?
It was the Fiesta Bowl.
It was Fiesta always gets the lower teams. It's kind of the Fiesta Bowl's tradition.
Don't call UCF last year a lower team. They were.
I'm not saying a lower team. I'm saying a lower conference team.
Mid-major.
They're not really mid-majors though. It's not college basketball. It's like group of five teams. Group of five. Fine. Fiesta Bowl gets group of 5 teams a lot. Non-AQ better. Go back to the BCS era. Non-AQ teams. I see that NC State's a below average team. Honestly, they lost to North Carolina. They've done a little good this year. I take UCF in this one.
They actually beat North Carolina.
Apologies to all those who care about the results of that game.
North Carolina State, they're always a decent team. Unfortunately, this year they just didn't get the better end of a lot of games. The Florida State game was a tough game, and they followed that up with a 41-0 loss against Clemson. Lost to Boston College, lost to Louisville, lost to Georgia Tech. I like what they've got going on.